I talked about once a relationship had blossomed and had been established.
That's correct. That's what I mean.
Okay. Good for you.
Right, I agree there.
Well, now wait, what are you saying? That you pay initially, but after it goes on for a while, then you don't pay.
Well, if I invite a woman to you're right. I have an egg timer. I turn. You pay now, baby.
It's a third date.
The third date. No.
When does that transition take place? How do you know? When she has to pay now.
I don't think that there's a standard period of time because relationships develop at different speeds.
Right.
But I do think that if a gentleman asks a lady out for dinner, he ought to pay.
Right. That's
But
reasonable.
6 months into the relationship, when they go to McDonald's, and it's just.
Oh, I fully agree with you there.
But have you any idea
Hi, you're
how
on
many?
the air.
Hi, my comment is according to who pays on...
Wait, excuse me, what's your first name?
Oh, I'm sorry. My name is Karen. I'm calling from DeClesta. And my thoughts are that whoever asks another person out should be expected to pay for the date. If I ask a gentleman out for lunch or for dinner, I assume that I will be picking up the tab for the evening.
How often do you do that?
About once. Oh, I'd say once every 3 months.
Karen, how many dates, when do you start keeping track?
When do I start keeping track? Keeping track of what?
Well, you said whoever asks whom out.
Well,
if you have 10 dates with someone, then is it next week it's your turn?
No. In other words, if I'm having a relationship with a gentleman, and I decide that I want to do something that evening, or I want to go to a movie, or I want to do something, and I say, would you care to join me at this movie, or would you care to join me for dinner? Then I assume I'm going to be paying for the evening.
All right, thanks for calling in. Hi, no, you're not on the air. I wanted to ask you, Cherry, because you've been conspicuously silent. Where are you on this issue?
Well, I'm not really sure.
Right.
That's what I thought.
I'm not really sure because I really, truly think my true self that if a guy expected me to pay, I think I'd move on. I might move
I
on.
agree. Yeah.
I might move on unless I'm really very fond of the person. I have to be.
Qualify that, though. You mean later in the relationship or early in the relationship?
Well, I would say early in the relationship.
Okay.
And early in the relationship, say if I had 6 or 7 dates and he
Later,
said,
it's a different
well,
story, I agree with.
but say if I got involved with them and he's saying, well, okay, and I really feel very close to the person, then I think I would pay. But I'm not
But
about
Colette says she's going to
to...
play this game with the ticket at the end, like if a woman, I've had women ask me out for dinner or dancing.
I would
and
never do it anyway.
Never ask a man out?
No, I wouldn't. I would
Colette.
never ask a man out.
I wouldn't ask a man out if he expected me to pay.
I don't know how men do it.
But one thing that concerns me is if you are accepting that much from a man, doesn't he deserve something in return? That's my concern.
What are we talking
And
about?
I'm not just talking about sex. I'm talking about there's a feeling of indebtedness, that you're the weaker party, that you can't take care of yourself, that you have to rely on this other person, and I don't like it.
Money is a statement of power.
Power, absolutely.
And whoever pays
But only if
has
you
the power.
if you give them that power, if you allow them to have that
It's
power
a statement
over
of
you,
power in and of itself
Only
because
if-
money is an exchange.
if you let it only.
Hi, you're on the air.
I can't believe this. My name is Claire from Palm Beach.
Hi, Claire. Oh, I know what I've heard about you women from Palm Beach.
Well, maybe it's true. I don't think we're maybe we're living in an isolated world over here, but I cannot believe that any women would go out with either of these two men who are concerned primarily with who is going to pick up a check. That seems to be their main concern tonight. No one has talked about anything more romantic than picking up a check.
Hey, ma'am, did you
That's the
listen to me?
topic for tonight.
I've been listening.
What is her name?
Claire.
Claire.
I know, you can talk
Claire.
Claire off your list, and you're never going to meet Claire. But the fact remains, what happened to the good old-fashioned man?
I live in her condo.
Claire,
Yes.
do men ever try to
No.
date you for your money?
I haven't, well, I suppose they do, yes.
How do you separate? How do you know if they're attracted to your money
You
or
can
they're attracted
usually
to you?
tell if they're coming off the beach or if they're president of a corporation. The easiest way simply to tell is when you've reached the ripe old age I have of having gone through 2 husbands and accumulate a little bit of money, you get very good at telling who's going to ask you to pick up a check. And I'm not saying that facetiously. It becomes a matter of knowing who you're going out with and knowing what's expected.
Suppose you really cared for a man who obviously had no intentions of paying.
I would probably not go out with him to start with.
All right, well, thanks a lot for calling in. Oops, I turned her on instead of turning her off. I have that problem frequently.
Is it fair to say that Claire may be so concerned with being taken in that she's never taken out?
You're so witty tonight, Rick.
I'll get you for this.
I don't know, is that one of your
She
problems?
was speaking of romance, but there wasn't any romance in her voice.
She was angry. I'm angry too, Dawn.
We're not the only two people here. She's got an audience.
Hostile. She did.
Well, she's not going out with you, fella.
didn't.
And she's not
I
going
liked her.
Well, she's probably
She also has another audience that are going to respond to Claire.
Yeah, but she was probably very well taken care of by the men in her life, I would say.
How do you... okay, let's assume this woman had money, because she said she lived in Palm Beach.
Claire
We don't know,
back.
but let's say she had money.
Get her on the
Why are you saying that if she had money, she had to have a man in her life that gave her the money?
Well, because she said she went through 2 husbands.
But so maybe
That
she was
doesn't
a
mean that.
millionaire. Maybe she was a president of IBM.
Maybe she already had money, is what you're saying?
Maybe she earned it.
Oh, okay.
No.
Never happened, right? Hi, you're on the air.
Hello, my name is Ray,
Hi, Ray.
and I think that you're talking too much on a subject that I think I have an answer for.
Oh, thank you.
Hey,
Okay, all right.
Superb.
I'm a bachelor and I've dated many, many times, and normally, after you take a girl out several times, she offers to invite you to her house for dinner. That's, I think, the solution for people in the 30s and 40s. Now, the younger people, they automatically offer to buy for each other, from what I've noticed.
The younger ones don't know how to cook, right?
That's not true.
Well, some of them might, but I think we're in the 80s, and their thinking isn't like we who have been brought up for the men to pay for the meal.
What do you think should happen?
I pay for the meal, and then I get asked out to their house for dinner. And also another thing they do is they buy tickets to a play or something and invite you to a play.
But what you're saying is that's a way of circumventing actually sitting down and having a financial discussion. It's, you know, kind of alluding to finances but not really dealing with it straight out. What would be wrong with saying, you know, here, we're going out to this place. Here's your share and here's my share. Is that not romantic enough?
I usually am more romantic than that, but usually the girl will offer to pay, and she'll give me the money, and then I will pay the check.
Why
and
can't
there's
she
been times
pay?
where I let her walk right up to the counter and she pays.
You know, I have to confess that
That's very unromantic. I don't know.
I confess
It
that
is.
if I do help with a check, that I do prefer having a man pay, and I don't like that
Yes.
part of me.
Right,
But
it's
because
your
it's not
money
it's not
and-
totally enlightened.
It's
You know?
not a sort
Do you
of...
slip the money to him on top of the table or under the table?
Yeah, that's got, you know. I mean, how are you going to do that?
You don't. That's just my point. You don't.
Hi,
do
you're
it.
on the air.
Hi, okay, I was also wondering.
What is your first name, please?
I'm Kim, and I'm from West Palm Beach.
Okay. Hi, Kim.
Hello, okay, another thing I was wondering about is age. Now, are we talking about 19? Are we talking 18? Are we getting up to 40s and 30s? I didn't realize that kids at younger ages doesn't have as much money, and that usually, you know, like if the guy would ask the girl, fine, let him pay. You know, but what teenagers say, and teenagers always don't have as much cash as grown-ups. So we're saying that, like, whoever is asking them out, that means they must have the bucks at the time, so they should pay. Not should pay, because they are paying, because they are asking you know?
How old are you, Kim?
How old am I?
Yeah.
I'm 17.
I think the rules
So,
still...
do you think in the circle of friends that you run with, generally do the people who have the money end up paying?
Yeah.
Would make
We've got
sense
the
if you don't
money.
have
Okay, we're not talking about the girls and the guys, you know, like that. We're talking like if the guy would ask the girl, hey, let's go to the movies and go out to dinner. It's a nice place. Like, say, for prom night. You don't say that the girl will pay for the prom night out. The guy does. It's just because he's asking the girl out for that night. And that
All right.
means, you know, it's not like the guy will pay.
Thanks for your call, Kim. We need to take a break here, and we will be right back. Stay tuned.
She sounded...
Unforgettable. That's what you are.
The legendary Nat King Cole. And now you can own this exclusive collector's edition.
Unforgettable. Darling, je vous aime beaucoup.
A treasury of timeless memories.
When I fall in love, it will be forever. The falling leaves.
Nat King Cole sings his most romantic and celebrated hits on this never-before-offered collector's edition.
They try to tell us we're too young. Answer me, oh my love. Pretend you're happy when you're blue.
Millions have fallen in love to the enchanting sounds of
Smile, though your heart is aching.
and his immortal
Mona Lisa, men have named you.
This 4-record collector's library edition is not available in stores.
The greatest thing you'll ever learn is just to love.
Nat King Cole lives on in this collector's edition of his most memorable recordings.
Now, for the first time, you may order a complete 4-album Golden Library collection, including Nat King Cole's most memorable and best-loved recordings. To save COD fees, have your credit card ready and call toll-free 1-800-453-6100 or send $19.95 to Nat King Cole, Box 8325, West Palm Beach, Florida. Please include $3 for shipping and handling or call toll-free 1-800-453-6100 now.
We're back, and I've been upstaged before, but this is a little ridiculous, Rick.
Well, I feel badly about Claire. And Claire, if you're watching, I want to know if you'd like to go out with me now.